Hey guys, Crypto Dad here again. Thanks for joining me on the Saturday night live stream, live from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about Bitcoin, we'll talk about the news, we'll talk about altcoins. I'm going to move some crypto around for you guys, and as always, I'll do my very best to get to your questions and see if we can't answer them live and troubleshoot your problems. So thank you everyone for joining me. It's been a volatile week with the Bitcoin all over the map, but we're currently a little bit under 54,000 if I'm not mistaken. We'll check in with that real quick. So we'll talk a little bit about the market. There's a little bit of politics we'll talk about tonight. The co-founder of Ripple, that is the company that controls XRP, has endorsed Kamala Harris along with a lot of other big company CEOs and or people involved in an open letter. So we'll talk a little bit about that story. And I want to talk about a common issue, a question that I hear from a lot of people that wonder what to do if they lose their cryptocurrency hardware wallet, or they're basically the device that helps them manage that cryptocurrency hardware wallet. Yeah, what happens if you lose your ledger device? What should you do? Well, we all know that if you've lost your device, you can get another one and do a restore. But should you be worried about someone out there finding the one that you lost? So we'll talk a little bit about that. That's kind of a common question. And it touches on a lot of subjects involving hardware wallets, what exactly they are, and what you need to do to keep your crypto safe. So we'll talk about that stuff. Let's check in with everyone tonight. And I want to thank everyone that's here tonight that has joined me. Kenny was here early. Andreas checked in earlier, said that he would not be here live, but I'm glad if you're joining us after the fact. I post this, once we do the live stream, it stays posted indefinitely. I think you can even go back and watch my very first live stream from, I think it was 2017, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to double check that. But yeah, I mean, you can always watch them after the fact. A lot of people were watching the one that we did last week that involved Polygon because they were concerned about their Polygon. So we'll touch on that subject. I want to revisit it a little bit. We'll just check in on that, the Polygon issue. Mark is here from Slovakia. Good to have you, Mark Schlossberg from Slovakia. Simon is here. Good to have you, Mr. Miskey, E. Poston, P. Wizzle. Bobby is here. That's great. Ron Leeson. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Gregory Whelan. Thank you for thanking me for being here. I'm glad to always have people validating my work. It's always good. Sometimes when you wake up in the morning, you wonder. Oh, and yeah, I got a brand new microphone. Let's check this thing out here. Scott's here. Raphael is here. We've got two Raphaels, Raphael Siles and Raphael Marquez. Good to have both of you here. Birds, Bees, and Trees. Christopher Thane, Dusted and Shadow. Dan is here moderating tonight. Good to have you, Dan. Lord P, good to have you. How to add memory to the Flex. There's no way to change or add to the capacity of any Ledger device, be it a Flex, Stacks, or a Ledger Nano. But you can sort of shuffle the apps around a little bit, and we can talk about that. If you're trying to add a whole bunch of apps and you run out of room, you can delete an app and add a new one. It's possible. And you won't destroy any wallets that you've created. So, like if you have to delete your Bitcoin app to make room for the Avalanche app or whatever else you're trying, you can still see your Bitcoin account in Ledger Live. And then if you ever need to manage it, you just go back and re-add the Bitcoin app. So it's kind of a pain, but the Flex can hold about 1 MB worth of apps, and that's usually enough for 10 to 15 apps. It doesn't have as much storage as the X, but it does have a pretty good amount of storage. So if you've got more, if you're running out of space, you could get a different device and put different cryptos on that device, or you could learn to do the shuffle. So yeah, I wanted to show you guys this thing. Where are we here? Is this camera going to work? Are we on camera 4? Yeah, we're on camera 4. I got a new mic. This is I can't remember the name of the company. Something. Let's check it here. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Steel Series Alias is what they call this thing. And it is possible to accidentally mute it, but not from tapping it on the top. There's a little button here. And notice when I hit the button, there's like that giant X there to let me know that the mic is muted. So it is possible for me to accidentally mute it, but not as much as the other mic. So I'm pretty happy. I was not able to, I have this boom that I'm using came with my, it's for my Elgato. And I was kind of distressed when I discovered that all of the equipment that came with this microphone was not compatible with this boom. But what I ended up doing was basically tossing all of the equipment that came with this mic, and then sort of repurposing the rubber bands on this to grab my current mic. So I got it all done. Jerry rigged it, so to speak, but I'm pretty happy with it, and the sound sounds pretty good. So, and it really wasn't as expensive as I thought. I think like the bigger mics that have like the round connector that people use in PA systems and like music recording and broadcasting and that kind of stuff. I think those mics are pretty expensive. But streaming mics are, this was $179. It was worth it. So yeah, so hopefully we won't have any more issues with the sound. That'll be good. Let's see where we're at here. For those of you who have never been in my live stream, if you look down below in the description, there are all kinds of goodies, stuff we're going to talk about, stuff we're going to do. My latest video that I posted this week, which was a scam alert. We talked about this in the live stream. People are getting cold called a lot, and somebody in this video asked me, gee, I wonder how they got his number. And the implication was, how did they know he had crypto? I don't think they do. It's possible that they're using the old Ledger database, but this was a a Coinbase scammer, someone trying to get access to a Coinbase account. So I think they're just randomly calling people. It's possible that somehow they got a list of people that have Coinbase accounts, but it's probably more likely that it's just a cold call. But what do I know? I'm not a phone scammer. I don't know. But I get texts and calls for banks that I don't have accounts at. Your Wells Fargo account needs attention. I get your MetaMask needs attention on my phone, and I never used my phone number when I registered my MetaMask account. So I'm just assuming that a lot of these scam text, scam emails, scam phone calls are basically just cold calls, and they just blast them out hoping that they're going to catch somebody that happens to have the related account or the related wallet or the related device or whatever. So check out this video. It's pretty good. It's pretty much just an excerpt from stuff I talked about on a previous live stream. So if you're a regular live stream viewer, you've heard this, right? And affiliate links for wallets. A big part of what I do is reviewing hardware wallets. I've done thousands of videos. I do a lot of wallet reviews. I have good relationships with a lot of companies. I don't like to recommend one wallet over another personally. I think that's your decision, not really mine, but I do my best to give you all of the information that I can about different wallets. And frankly, I don't just use one wallet myself. I use several. A lot of people out there may just be getting started and they want, to choose one. And I totally get that. But you should choose a wallet that's best for you based on your skill level, your budget, and the security of the wallet. That's a big thing too. But you can get the most secure wallet in the world and lose crypto if you can't figure out how to use it. So security is a consideration, but you have to think about what you're capable of using. So anyway, I do a lot of videos. I have a lot of affiliate links for a lot of different wallets. There's a lot of great wallets out there. And if you're interested in any of these products, I invite you to use my affiliate link so you can check out their website and they'll know that I sent you, right? And I've got the news stories linked below. And I should mention that I would like to do more consulting. It's a good stream of revenue for me, and I know there's a lot of people out there that need hand holding to go through some of this stuff. And I've been doing crypto for, I'd say, about 10 years now. And prior to that, I've helped people with their computers. And I tried to figure it out, my history of tech support. It's well over 30 years. I bought my first computer, I believe, in 1987. I think I was helping people with their computers during that time at school and in my neighborhood. And then I had my first job working at a computer store in, I believe, 94. And then that snowballed in. There were a lot of people that would come in to buy computers that wanted help. And so, yeah, I've for many years, I've been able to teach people how to use their computer, and done a lot of one-on-one consulting on Macs and PCs and now crypto. So if you need help, shoot me an email. A lot of people, they just need an answer. And I can do that. That's no problem. I can usually do that for free and help you out. If you need something more, then we can talk about consulting. So I've got a lot of contact information there. Also, I wanted to point out this video that Dan had posted in our local group on the Bitcoin power law. I think Dan was talking a little bit about that last week, and I just wanted to bring your attention that I had posted a link to that video about the Bitcoin power law. It's a very interesting video on sort of a investment strategy around Bitcoin. I don't do a whole lot of investment advice, but this is really, I believe in Bitcoin, and that's a pretty decent plan for someone that wants to hold hold Bitcoin long term and take profits. So I thought that I should point that one out. Let's jump into the news, guys. I don't want to talk too much about the news. There's a few things I'd like to demo for you guys tonight. Bitcoin pumps then dumps below 54K as jobs report spurs crypto volatility. You have heard me harping and lamenting on how fake the jobs reports are, how they're massaged by the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. And there was a big adjustment a few weeks ago, where the government released figures that adjusted their previous figures down by around 800K. And that was kind of a non-event, a nothing burger, even though it should have been a big deal. There were some stories about it. But this jobs report sort of was kind of where the reverberations of that adjustment came in. The jobs report wasn't really that bad. It's just weird how some business statistics can move the market in weird ways. And it was a miss. It was below the estimates. But as I said, I don't really take any of these figures seriously when they talk about unemployment being around 3 or 4%. That's obviously BS. The inflation figures, new jobs, that all that kind of stuff. Everyone that lives in this country knows that a lot of people are working 2 and 3 jobs to make ends meet, and good jobs are hard to find, and all these figures that the government pumps out are just that. So that's really what caused the broader markets to experience some volatility, and crypto just sort of came along for the ride. Although I am glad that Bitcoin and crypto are sort of reacting to financial news. They're sort of folded into the big time now. Dustin and Shadow, thank you so much for that donation. I appreciate that. And here's that political news we were talking about. Ripple co-founder signs letter endorsing Harris for president. Interesting. Even though Ripple is considered a crypto company, the cryptocurrency XRP is not really considered by many to be a pure crypto. There are a lot of people that really believe in XRP. They say that it's going to, be the next major way that people move money around. It's going to replace the SWIFT system, but it is a centralized company. It is a centralized cryptocurrency controlled by one company, Ripple. I don't know what the percentage is, but I think the company Ripple holds a majority of the circulating XRP. So it's not really considered a pure crypto company and doesn't really abide by the crypto spirit, so to speak, right? It's not decentralized. It's more, they're trying to work with big banks, right? They want to be the crypto of big banks. So I wouldn't put a lot of stock in the fact that the co-founder of Ripple has endorsed Harris, as far as that being some sort of stamp of approval from the cryptocurrency community. We talked about Trump's pro-crypto stance and RFK Jr.'s crypto stance. And I don't think that the Harris campaign has really solidified any kind of real stance on crypto. She just got an endorsement from some big business guy. And, here the people that also endorsed her in this letter, Aaron Levine, co-founder and CEO of the enterprise cloud company Box, Yelp CEO, Snap chairman, former 21st Century Fox CEO James Murdoch. I mean, these are just your run-of-the-mill big business people. So we already know that that most of the establishment people are with the Democrats, so it's no big surprise, really. And although this is a crypto-related podcast and this story is on a crypto-related news website, I don't think it's any sort of stamp of approval from the crypto community. And here we are, 53,964. We're just under 54,000. And it looks like overall the market's on a little bit of a upswing, but we had a big downswing, right? All right. And also, I wanted to bring this up. This is kind of an interesting story. It's funny that when we talk about who's ahead in the polls for the U.S. presidential election, that seems to be the topic of discussion. And we used to rely on polls, and but nobody really trusts polls anymore. When I was in college, I got a degree in computer science, and one of the classes that we had to take was statistics. And if you've taken a statistics class, you'll see that a lot, when you learn about how a proper study is conducted, you're a little more skeptical when you see headlines claiming statistical results of one kind or another. You question things like, what was their sample size? How did they conduct their poll? Who did they ask? Those sorts of things. And how were the questions posed to the respondents, right? You can ask a question in a certain way that will kind of will kind of push a certain response. So I don't take a lot of stock in polls. In fact, when you think about it, most of the polls are done by phone, and whenever I hear the results of a poll, I always say to myself, oh yeah, they sampled all of those people dumb enough to answer their phone and give answers to a poll. Most of that crap goes directly to voicemail on my phone. I consider that just as much spam as these scammers. So yeah, I mean, who are these people out there answering their phones? But anyway, I digress slightly. But the prediction market, which this company Calci was able to get approval to go into the what do we call it? The betting on results, right? And specifically, they got approval to take bets on who would control Congress. And I think that they may do other stuff too. But apparently, they had been locked out of this market. And here what it was. They got it back. Let's see, here it was. Oh, okay. Last year, the CT I can't talk tonight. Commodities Future Trading Commission, last year they forbade Calci from listing the congressional control contracts on the grounds that they would amount to unlawful gaming and would be contrary to the public interest. What the heck does unlawful gaming mean? Gambling is legal in the United States. There's people out there buying scratchers every day. And one of the arguments against Bitcoin in the early days was that it was little more than gambling. But gambling, that you can gamble in almost every state in an Indian casino, and you can buy scratchers at the grocery store. So if gambling is legal, then what was the big deal with the fact that Bitcoin was akin to gambling, right? Isn't that already legal? So here we go. Yeah, unlawful gaming. I don't know, and that it would be contrary to the public interest. I don't know how. Betting on who's going to win control of the Congress or the Senate is contrary to the public interest, but somehow the Commodities Future and Trading Commission had made this judgment call. So Calci sued them, calling the regulator's decision arbitrary and capricious. Now there is another company that is involved in this market called Poly Market. And the reason I bring them up is because that is what really most people are going by with who's ahead in the presidential race. The Poly Market betting service, and I've got their website pulled up here, Poly Market. You can bet on just about anything. And when they talk about, who's ahead in the race, instead they'll talk about the polls, but a lot of times the flagship indicator is the Poly Market percentages. And you can bet on Fed interest rates and all this other stuff. All that stuff. Now, Poly Market is not legal in the U.S. If you set up an account, and I thought that I'd done this. Oh, I think I did it over here in my Chrome. So, yeah, this is where we stand on Poly Market. These are the betting odds right now, and but I tried to use Poly Market and connect my wallet, and I'm blocked from the U.S. I could probably do this with a VPN, but I can't really do my live stream when I'm on a VPN. So anyway, that's I don't know that this is any more accurate than polls. I'm sure the people that wish to push these polls one way or another have pockets deep enough to go in there and make bets to affect these betting odds. So I don't know that this is any more accurate than anything else. One of the big indicators in the 2016 election was crowd sizes. There was a lot of talk about how large Donald Trump's rallies were as opposed to the Hillary Clinton's rallies. And, Hillary Clinton's people did all kinds of little camera tricks to make their crowds look bigger. But when people were panning back, they could see that Hillary's crowds were not that big compared to the crowds at Donald Trump's rallies. But we still, that's really that's not really what we would call an accurate indicator either. It is an indicator. It's a pretty good indicator as to how much more popular someone is by the crowds they can draw. But elections are a complicated thing. But anyway, I thought I would bring up that little story, and then I wanted to point to this little Reddit post. I have it linked down below in the description over here. If you scroll down, you can click this link here where this gentleman is asking what he should do about his lost ledger device. And he got a lot of replies. But before we dive into this issue, I'd like to just kind of see who's here and what we're talking about. Lord had asked about adding memory to her Flex. I think she said Flex, or was it Stacks? Did you say Stacks or Flex? You said Flex. So when we go into Ledger Live, if you have your device connected and your PIN entered, let me get that done. Whoops. We can briefly check the capacity of the device. So if we go into my Ledger, you can see the capacity of the device. It's 1.07 megabytes. Now, by today's standards, when we're talking about flash drives and hard disks, that doesn't sound like a lot of storage, but we're talking about a little security device here that was designed for security rather than performance. That's one of the things that Ian over at Ledger likes to say. And it's true, it's not, you're not storing videos and pictures on this thing. And these apps are relatively small, and these apps are maintained by the developers of the associated cryptocurrency. And you'll see some are bigger than others. Like this is Bitcoin, 109 kilobytes, Ethereum 136, Solana only 83, Ton is 82, Polkadot at 110, Monero at 89. We got Stellar at 99, and you'll notice that Avalanche is fairly large. Now, if I were to try to add Cardano to this, I don't know that it would allow me to do that. Oh yeah, there's just barely enough room for Cardano. But then we're out, right? So Cardano and Avalanche fairly large, but most people are usually only using maybe Bitcoin and Ethereum, if that, Solana, sure, I get that. Most people probably aren't using Ton or Polkadot or Monero or Stellar. So if you've got, and I've got 9 apps on here. So if you are playing around with a lot of cryptos and you've filled up your space, you can easily delete any of your apps, and it will not destroy the wallet. I had talked earlier about maybe deleting your Bitcoin app. It would not take it out of your accounts. It would simply take the app off your device. This particular Bitcoin account is associated with my son's my son's ledger anyway, so it doesn't really take up any space there. Okay. I'm getting an alert from my malware. I don't know what that's all about. But I could easily delete apps and still monitor the accounts, even make deposits. And then if I really needed to send out, I could shuffle the apps on and off. So in other words, I could say, let's say I wanted to add Litecoin and I didn't have room. I could delete Bitcoin and add Litecoin and then manage my Litecoin. And then when I wanted to go back to Bitcoin, I could delete the Litecoin app and put the Bitcoin app back on there, and still maintain the wallets. It's kind of a pain, but it's workable, right? Or you could buy another device and put other cryptos on the other device, however you want to do it that way, or put them on a different hardware wallet, like a Ledger or a Trezor or some other brand. It doesn't really matter. There are ways of dealing with this, but you cannot increase the capacity of a Ledger device. That's you cannot do that. Unfortunately, there's no way to do that. Makano Larinja, my videos always help you. Thank you so much. Jason, good to have you here. From Colombia. That's awesome. Macau. I am horrible at this. Macaco. I think that's how you pronounce your name. I'm glad to have you here from Colombia. BB Bean. I'm just wondering about Ledger Live. Do you have to subscribe to them? No, not really. When you set up a Ledger account, it's not the type of account like like a Facebook or a Twitter or an Amazon account where you log in with a username and a password. It is basically a way to view the crypto that you're managing, but you don't have to sign up for it. It's totally free to download Ledger Live. It would behoove you to have a device. I think you can set it up without a device, maybe not. I know you can set up the phone app without actually connecting a device and simply export your desktop accounts. But no, there's no reason you have to sign into it. They do collect some data, but you can opt out of that. I'm not sure exactly. I think it's here in general. You can opt out of their analytics and bug reports. There was a little bit of controversy, people claiming that Ledger was using location services and that sort of stuff. But they're not collecting any data that any other company wouldn't collect. A lot of people single them out because they're involved in crypto, maybe rightly so, but it's not uncommon for companies to collect this type of data to improve their products and, get some information about how their users are interacting with their product, where and when, and that sort of stuff. But you can opt out of their analytics. So yeah, there's no reason to sign up for an account. You don't need it, right? It's not associated directly with you, right? It's totally based on your device, right? You can log in from anywhere. But that's a great question. Thank you for bringing that up. Let's see here. Someone answered, Mr. Bean. I found you by Googling what my crypto needs were. You kept popping up with comprehensive videos. Thank you so much for that, Patrick. I appreciate that. It is nice to see my videos pop up when I'm looking for stuff on the internet. Whoops. Oh, there, it just popped there. Ooh. I've done phone consultation with Rex. Issue resolved. Great pricing. Well worth it. Well, thank you so much, Kelly. Does anyone believe in 100K by the end of 2024? There was talk of 100K by the end of this year. It's kind of hard to imagine now, but we've seen Bitcoin pop up close to its all-time high a couple of times this year. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. I'm not really in the business of prediction. Dan's talking about the power charts a little bit. That's good stuff. Let's see. Market is a bit sideways right now. Yeah, that's right. Last look at the 2016-2017 cycle. It will take until fall of 2025 for Bitcoin to recover and start its rise according to Plan B model. Okay, that's one model. Yeah. Based on the Bitcoin halving cycle. What do you think about sushi? I love to eat sushi. If you're talking about the token sushi that's associated with the sushi DEX, I don't really do much coin evaluations, but Sushi Swap has been around for quite a... Whoops. Sorry about that. Sushi Swap has been around for quite a while. Here, I think I've got it. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so Sushi Swap is a decentralized exchange that you can use to trade on EVM chains. You'll notice they support quite a few of the EVM chains, which is pretty cool. As far as their governance token, whether or not it's a good investment, I'll leave that up to you. But I will say that the Sushi Swap DEX has been around for quite a while. It's recognized as one of the pioneers, and it's a good place to trade. And they've done well over the years, so can't say anything bad about it. It would be interesting to see the volatility around the U.S. elections. Yeah, there's a lot of doomsday talk about the elections as they approach, and the zombie apocalypse and the crash of the financial system and the stock market and all that stuff. Crazy talk about this. This is going to be quite an election. 2020 was pretty bad as far as unrest, so to speak, or however you want to think about it. But crypto is here to stay long term, in my view. So I'm not too concerned about the election. We'll see. And so, yeah, let's talk a little bit about this issue of, let's see, where did I have it here? Losing your device. So the original poster in this particular thread is saying that he lost his device. So if I lost this device, I would be pretty upset. I have, over the years, I have had, I still have quite a few Ledger devices, and I was never overly concerned about my device because I understood that the most important part of your crypto holdings is your private key, and the 24 words that you write down is your backup. So as long as you have the 24-word seed phrase, the device is really not that important. The device can get lost or damaged or stolen or whatever, and all you have to do to recover access to your crypto is get another device and do the restore, and then you'll have access. This one I'm a little more emotionally attached to because it's brand new, it's really cool, and they're still not readily available, right? They're still shipping the pre-orders. So if I were to lose this one, I'd be pretty upset. Plus, it's more expensive, right? This thing's like $400, so I really wouldn't want to lose it as just something that I have around. So let's start off just by saying, be mindful and cognizant. I'm an old crusty guy. I'm 61, going on 62. And I have never really had patience for people that lose things. I remember I used to have a friend, and he never could seem to find his keys when we were ready to go. When we were over at his house and we're like, hey, let's go do this or that or whatever. Where are my keys? He'd always be running around like a chicken with his head cut off anytime he was ready to leave because he couldn't find his keys. Now, I am not the most organized person in the world, but I do have a little tray where I put my keys when we come into the house. So I am never really looking for my keys. Although sometimes I do misplace them, I have added a Apple AirTag tracker to my keychain just in case. But the thing is, try not to lose important things like your phone or your ledger device. It just seems careless to me that you would lose it. I mean, how do you lose something like that? First of all, I don't really carry mine around with me, except on not very often, special occasions I might carry my device with me somewhere, but really it's better to just leave it around the house. And if you've lost it in your house, you don't really have to worry about it. But apparently this person lost it somewhere where he thinks other people might have access to it. Maybe it fell out of his pocket. Maybe he had it out at a coffee shop or whatever. 5 or 10 years ago, most people wouldn't have any idea what this thing is. Nowadays they might. It's possible that I think someone that were to find this and know what it is might attempt to open it and maybe guess the pin. You only have 3 guesses before it does a full reset. So it's a pretty secure device, and it is very resistant to tampering. It is very difficult to hack into a ledger device. You need specialized tools. You need specialized knowledge, and you need full physical access to the device. But that's kind of where we are in this scenario. He's worried someone might have physical access to the device. So first and foremost, he needs to get a new device and do the restore to regain access to his crypto. Is that enough? Should he just say, okay, I got my replacement device, I've got my device restored, I have full access to my crypto, I'm just going to move on with my life? Well, yes and no. It is very unlikely that anyone out there will be able to gain access to his crypto, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. Now, before I talk a little further, let's also say that if you have one of these devices, it would behoove you to already have another one in reserve, right? Buy a second device so that if you lose your go-to device, you'll have your backup ready to roll. Now, you could have this backup ready to roll in a box, and then once you've lost your big main device, or you stepped on it, or you dropped it in water, or your dog chewed it, or whatever the scenario is, you've got a new device ready to go. Well, you would be freaking out because you got all this crypto, right, that you want access to. So you're going to have to pull out your recovery phrase and do the restore. Now, restores can be nerve-wracking. I've done quite a few of them, so I'm pretty adept at them. But even me today, they're still kind of nerve-wracking, right? So it would also behoove you not only to have a backup, but to have already performed your restore on your backup, so that if you lose your go-to device for whatever reason, you go and pull this guy out of the drawer or your safe or your safe deposit box or wherever you've got your backup and hit the ground running. Just connect it and you're good to go. So that's best practice. So you don't have to worry so much about the device. And as I said, it's the seed phrase that's most important. The 24 words that you have written down need to be stored in a very secure location. You might want to have multiple copies hidden in various secure locations in case of fires or floods or earthquakes or whatever. You've got your, but don't put them online. Don't put them in the cloud. Don't save them digitally. Don't take a picture with your phone. People could hack your iCloud account. But write them down on paper or metal, however you want to do it, and store them in secure locations. Don't mix them up and do crazy stuff like that. I know I'm getting a little off track here. But so that's a good strategy overall, right? So if you do lose your device, if you are careless enough to lose your device, you have already proactively put yourself in a position where all you have to do is pull out your backup and hit the ground running, connect it and go. And so what is this? So what is the proper thing to do? So, okay, let's just assume that, I've got this 0.018 Bitcoin on my Ledger device and I've lost it. It's if someone were to find it and possibly gain access to this, best practice would be to move this somewhere else. Now, if your go-to device gets broken or stepped on or damaged, then your replacement, you're good to go, right? You don't have to worry about the one that got broken or, that kind of thing. But if you've lost it out in the wild somewhere where it's possible someone else might find it, they could Google what it is and how to crack it and maybe contact someone that might be willing to do it for them for a price, that kind of stuff. So they have no idea how much is on there. As far as they know, it could be millions, and they would be willing to pay any price to crack into the device. So it is quite possible, it's not likely, but it is possible that someone that found the device could go through the proper steps to contact someone with the expertise to somehow crack into your device. Now, like I said, on a Ledger, it's very difficult. I don't even know that it's possible. It was done 4 or 5 years ago, but that vulnerability has since been fixed. I have talked to Ledger directly on several occasions, and Ian has told me a lot of stories about people calling them saying, hey, we have a device, we've lost our backup, and we've already tried to enter the PIN twice and failed, and now we're on that last PIN entry. Can you help us? And then Ledger was like, no, we can't help you. We've designed our device so that it's, tamper-proof. So we don't know your PIN, and so we can't get access to your device. And the guy who was like, it was some big company, and that was all the company's money that was on this one device, not a very good company. And the guy came back with, yeah, I know, but it's me. It was kind of like, but it's me. You can tell me. I know you have a back door. We're talking a lot of money here. So, yeah, I get it. You have to tell everybody it's tamper proof, but hey, it's me. So, can I come there with my device and you guys can? And they were like, no, we can't. I just love that story. Yeah. So, but best practice would be to move your assets to another configuration. So how would we go about doing that? Well, there are a couple of things we could do. One thing we could do, and let's just say we're dealing with the Bitcoin, is send the Bitcoin over to Coinbase temporarily. Just log into your Coinbase account. And deposit that Bitcoin in your Coinbase account, right? We're going to receive crypto into our Coinbase account, Bitcoin, right? So we move the Bitcoin off our ledger configuration. Where'd it go? Okay. All right. We move it to our Coinbase account. We send it all, right? And then now that we've done this, our configuration is now empty, right? We've wiped it. We've removed all the crypto that was on that configuration. And so now, this is not going to work because this is my son's Bitcoin. It requires his device. But once we've done that and the balance is zero, now we can wipe the device. By entering the PIN incorrectly 3 times. And now that so first we regain access to the crypto by restoring the device with our 24-word seed phrase. Then we move the crypto off the device, and now we can do a reset, and then we can, from there, we'll set the device up as brand new. We'll let our device generate a brand new, totally random private key. Will be directed to write down a brand new seed phrase. And then my advice would be, I hate to throw away seed phrases, but you should at the very least label the old seed phrase as lost device, with a date on it. And then the new seed phrase would be, working seed phrase with the date, so you don't get them confused. The reason I bring this up is because I spoke with a great couple, and they wanted to ask me that they had 2 devices. Hey, Rowan R., thank you for that subscription. They had 2 devices, and then somehow they got them mixed up. And at some point in the past, he had decided that, okay, I've wiped this device, and so I don't need this seed phrase anymore. And he threw the seed phrase away. And then a couple years down the road, they determined that he had mixed up the devices, that the device that he was currently using did not have all the crypto that he thought was on there, and that it was the other device that had the crypto that had since been wiped. And I said, well, that's not a big deal. All you need to do is restore it. And he goes, well, I was convinced that the seed phrase was no longer needed, so I threw it away. So that was the seed phrase that could have restored a lot of crypto, right? Life-changing wealth. So it's my policy not to throw away seed phrases, right? So just label your old seed phrase and say lost device, in case down the road you remember maybe there was this weird obscure crypto that you put on there, whatever. But for all intents and purposes, that old seed phrase is now retired, but not thrown away. And now you've got a brand new configuration. And on the brand new configuration, you'll write down, you'll put your new seed phrase in a secure location. You'll go into your Ledger Live. It might behoove you simply to reset Ledger Live at this point, since any of the accounts that you had in there were based on the old device. That's pretty easy. Just go into the settings, go into accounts. Oh, I'm sorry, it's in help. Pardon me. You'll go into the help section and then hit this reset button. The reset button, I'll go ahead and hit it. Basically, what happens when you hit the reset button is that Ledger Live totally resets. All your accounts disappear. And then you can reconnect your new device, right? You'll go ahead and hit get started. You'll accept this. You'll get your device going. Oh, my bad. The device is in a weird state. Yeah. Kind of skip all this stuff. Okay, all that good stuff. So we've got a brand new device. And you could actually have Ledger Live walk you through this setup process if you want. I'll do all this later. And basically, all your accounts are now empty. You'll hit Add Account. You'll create a blank Bitcoin account. And, well, this one's not blank. But that's okay. So in this scenario, you've created a brand new device. You should have a blank Bitcoin account. Actually, what I'll do is I'll just treat this as we'll just pretend that existing one isn't there, right? And we'll create this empty Bitcoin account, right? We'll have a zero balance. We'll go into our Bitcoin account, do a receive, right? And then we'll get that address. We'll go over to Coinbase, and this time we'll we'll send crypto from Coinbase back to our device, right? So we'll have a balance in Coinbase of whatever crypto we put there temporarily, and then put it back on our device. Now there are other ways to go about this. Right there, you could possibly what you could do is reset your device, set it up as brand new, get set up the empty accounts, get receiving addresses, and then put them in a text file somewhere. Like for example, I could take this file and then go into. Well, let's just make a new one here. Go into my little text file and paste that Bitcoin address in there. Right now I have access to the Bitcoin address. And in this scenario, we're just talking about Bitcoin. We could have 3 or 4 cryptos. So in that case, we would put in 3 or 4 receiving addresses for our new configuration. Then we would reset the device again by entering the seed phrase incorrectly 3 times, go back and restore to that previous configuration that has, the lost device, but still has crypto in it. And then we would just send the crypto directly from our lost device that's been restored to our new configuration. We would wipe the device again and then restore to our new configuration. And in that scenario, there's no middleman, right? You're just moving crypto between your configurations. That's a little complicated for a lot of people. You could end up screwing something up, losing access to your crypto, all kinds of not wrapping your head around this. I think the scenario that I talked about with moving your crypto to Coinbase and then back onto the device is probably easier to wrap your head around in that sense, right? There were quite a few suggestions here. I think some person, they're talking about how unlikely it is that someone will be able to access the device, unless, of course, you're using a stupid PIN like 000, 1, 2, 3, 4, that kind of stuff. But it's very unlikely. that someone's going to be able to access your PIN. A lot of people are saying, hey, there's no risk at all because that's going to reset after 3 tries. We talked about this, but really there are a lot of people that tell him that it's, best practice would be to move your crypto to a new configuration. So there it is. Transfer your assets off ASAP. Create a trustworthy software wallet. Transfer all the assets off. Make sure they've been transferred. Wipe the ledger. Generate a brand new seed. And then move them back, right? That's kind of what we were talking about, right? Some people don't do it to a software wallet. Now, I know someone in here had said something about creating, doing a passphrase configuration and moving everything to the passphrase configuration. That's a little risky because people forget their passphrases and stuff. But any temporary location. Someone else said that an easy way to wrap your head around it would be to buy a brand new device and set the brand new device up as new and then transfer your assets to that. And that would require you spending the money on a third device, so to speak, right? Because you've already got your restored device, and then you buy a brand new device to move all your assets to that. But that's kind of easier to wrap your head around. So, but the bottom line is, if there's any chance whatsoever of someone gaining access to your crypto configuration, best practice would be to move it to a new configuration, whether it's going to be directly, or you put it in a temporary software wallet, or you put it in a Coinbase or Kraken or Gemini temporarily while you reset your device and set it up as new. All of these scenarios basically are saying, hey, at this point, right, we want to move our crypto off the at-risk configuration, and then we want to generate a brand new configuration that is totally secure, right? It hasn't been exposed to anybody or anything, right? And that's where our crypto will be safe. So if you lose your device, that sucks. You want to restore it as soon as possible. Get a new device, do the restore, regain access to your crypto, and then best practice would say you need to move that crypto to a new, more secure configuration. Because your device is out there, there's a very small possibility that someone might figure out how to gain access to your device, but probably not. But you got to worry. You want to not worry about that. Okay, so let me. There looks like there might be a few questions. We're talking a little bit about the election. I talked about that. Woos. I tried ordering the latest Ledger toy, but was unable to pay with Bitcoin or Lightning. Only some exchange app. Very disappointing. I don't know that Ledger ever accepted Bitcoin. They may have at some point. I thought that they used to be able to. Let me just put this in my thing. Well, it's gonna my address is gonna pop up if I do all this, but I kind of thought that they. Whoops. Let me skip through it. Let me see if I can check out here. Oh yeah, they want my address and everything in here just to get this. Okay. All right. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Continue to payment. This is what we want. Okay. Let's go to more payment options. Yeah. So they have crypto.com, and you can use crypto pay with your crypto.com app, but that's not really Bitcoin. I could have sworn they used to have BitPay. Sorry, I'm looking off screen because my home address was showing. But I seem to remember that they used to have an option for BitPay, but I guess no more. Yeah. Um, I don't know if that's because of regulation or whatever. But speaking on that subject, back in 2016 and 17, there were a lot of companies out there that were starting to adopt Bitcoin payment. They were accepting Bitcoin as payment, and they would basically just give you a Bitcoin address and say, send Bitcoin to this address. And when we get the Bitcoin, we'll ship your product. I bought some products that way on Newegg. But when the crypto market went volatile in late 2017 and 18, a lot of companies stopped accepting Bitcoin directly because of the volatility. But a company called BitPay got involved, and BitPay will allow a business to accept Bitcoin and or crypto as payment, and they will automatically convert to fiat right away, which reduces the volatility risk for the merchant accepting the crypto. But they're basically a middleman, right? There are still some places that will accept Bitcoin directly, but not that many. I was doing a video on Monero, and I noticed that there's quite a few Monero marketplaces. I think this is it. Yeah, if we go to crypto work, there are a lot of vendors that will accept Monero as a payment. Now, Monero is a privacy-oriented coin, and is not quite as volatile as Bitcoin. It is a little bit volatile, right? But there are ways to spend your crypto. But yeah, I guess Ledger won't let you buy with the Bitcoin. That's too bad. If someone has one of my seed phrase cards to my Keystone Pro, and they don't have the Keystone device, can they buy another device, use the seed phrase, and access the crypto? Yes, Omnipresent, they can. That is a big yes. That anyone that has access to the seed phrase can easily use that seed phrase to restore to their own device. They don't even have to go out and buy a Keystone 3 Pro or a Keystone Pro. That is a industry standard seed phrase. Anyone can use that to restore to a software wallet. A lot of wallets out there that support those seed phrases. Even if he doesn't have the device, your device and your password are of no consequence whatsoever. If they have your seed phrase, they can restore to a device. They don't need the password. It won't help you to change your password or your PIN. Your ledger stores your seed phrase on a specific chip designed to protect that information. However, I'll add Ledger is considered the ultimate at security. There's a lot of debate over which platform is or isn't more secure. I won't go down that rabbit hole tonight because we're starting to run out of time. I have money worth of Jupiter project, Ethereum on Coinbase. They delisted it, and now I'm out thousands. Anyone have suggestion? Generally, if they delist a coin that you're holding, they will allow you to withdraw your tokens. They're not just going to take your tokens in that sense. They usually give you plenty of warning that they're going to delist a coin if it's in your portfolio. And if you were holding a coin that has been delisted on Coinbase, I believe you still have the option of withdrawing that coin to one of your own wallets. That would be my suggestion. And then maybe trying to figure out where you can sell that coin, or if you want to keep holding it, what type of wallet you're going to need to store that coin. The Jupiter project on Ethereum will probably work just fine in your Ethereum wallet since it's an ERC20 token. But a lot of projects like Polygon, we talked about that, and I didn't really talk much about Polygon tonight. I should have. They're making a transition to a new name, and they transitioned to a new blockchain several years back. Tron used to be an ERC20 token. It is since on its own blockchain now. Jupiter started off as an Ethereum token, but it is now on the Solana blockchain. I talked about this last week as well. Don't just let your coins sit in wallets forever or sit on exchanges forever. You got to kind of, I know it sounds harsh, but crypto is not like a gold coin that can just sit in a box for hundreds of years and still be valuable. Crypto, you kind of need to keep an eye on what's going on with it. If it's evolving or migrating, you need to be aware of that and do those migrations. If it's about to be delisted, you should probably have traded it before they delisted it. But like I said, I don't think Coinbase would make your coin inaccessible. You should be able to go into your portfolio and withdraw the coin. And if you can't, you need to contact Coinbase and ask them what you need to do to get that coin withdrawn, right? I mean, I'm not kind of crazy cold wallet scary, but I think a lot of the Uber nerds on the topic care about air gapped wallets. The Keystone Pro that our friend Omni is asking about is considered a good, albeit slightly less user-friendly compared to Ledger. Yeah, the big problem I have with air gap is it is very difficult to use, especially for newcomers, and it does entail what I call, what I would term security theater. Security theater is where you're acting like something is like a big security concern when it's not. Are the good people at the TSA, Transportation Security Association Authority, or whatever the acronym stands for, that have you remove your belt and your shoes when you go into an airport? That's security theater. That's just making you think that they're providing security, when in reality it's just a ritual that really doesn't have a whole lot of meaning. I feel that air gapping is that way. They talk about air gapping as if, oh, nothing ever touches it, but you still have to run updates. And the way you run those updates is by downloading the latest firmware, transferring it onto an SD card, and then you have to put the SD card in the device. So things from the outside get into the device somewhat serendipitously, but they can. The device cannot be completely isolated from the world. Now, you could use the device and never update your firmware. I get that. But a lot of people have mentioned that the QR codes, there are hackable serendipitous QR codes that could be transmitting bad addresses or bad information. So no scheme is completely foolproof. We'll just put it that way. We won't get too far down that rabbit hole. Ledger Live does not have the seed phrase. I'll pay CryptoDad to help me, LOL, and such a newbie in Australia. Also, time difference. Omnipresent, if someone has your seed phrase, you probably should move that crypto somewhere and reset your device. I know that sounds scary. I don't know who has your seed phrase. It sounds like you may have given it to someone for safekeeping. They may not understand what it is or how to use it. So if your crypto is still showing up in your wallet, you're probably okay. But best practice would be, hey, that kind of thing. Yeah, my email is thecryptodad@gmail.com. If you want to shoot me an email, let's see if maybe we can figure out something through email and a good email exchange. Down at the bottom of my description is my Twitter and my YouTube and my email address. That's the best way to get a hold of me. Yeah. And let's see, Maddie C just threw me $5. Thank you so much. Could you help me with my AVAX on my ledger? It's Binance pegged, and when I try to move it to CDC, it always gets lost. What am I missing? Thanks. Okay, so you have Binance pegged Avalanche tokens. And when you say CDC, I think you're talking about that crypto CDC. You're talking about this? That's something else. Crypto.com staked. What do you mean by CDC? CoinDC. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Binance pegged AVAX. One thing you can do with it is you should be able to deposit it on Binance US, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just brainstorming here because a lot of times trying to okay, so they'll only accept Avalanche C chain. Basically, if you have Binance pegged Avalanche, your best bet would be to go to PancakeSwap and just swap it for BNB. I'm not sure what you're trying to convert it to or from. Let's use Rabby here. Oh, Rabby is not installed. Well, that's weird. Why is it? Yes, it is. Let's try this again. Oh, BNB chain. Yeah, it should work. All right. It's not cooperating with me. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, PancakeSwap. What are you doing to me? All right. All right. Let me disable this wallet. Okay. Well, let's try now. Whoops. Still. All right. Okay. It's just not cooperating with me tonight. Sorry. I did not expect to be using PancakeSwap tonight. Let's try again. Okay. There it goes. Nope, nope. Oh, yeah, it is opening meta. Okay. Oh, let's see here. Let's do this account. Okay. Whoops. Now I'm going to have to switch over to Binance Smart Chain. There we go. All right. So basically what you want to do is if you've got your AVAX, your Binance pegged Avalanche, right? You want to swap this for BNB. BNB, I say BNB because BNB is, you can drop BNB in your Binance US account. Easy peasy, right? And this would be Binance Smart Chain type, right? I don't know if you have a Binance US account. I'm not sure how you managed to get this AVAX as Binance pegged. So I'm just assuming that you know what BNB is and you are able to work with it. Maybe you can deal with it on Binance proper. If you're not in the US and you have a Binance account, that's easy peasy as well. Your Binance proper account would probably allow you to drop that Binance pegged AVAX in your account as well. But just as easy for you to just swap this Binance pegged AVAX. See, we're on the BNB chain here. Swap it for BNB, and then you can withdraw the BNB. Oh, and you would, of course, be, this is a ledger-based account, right? This, well, not the one I'm dealing with now. But if you have a ledger device connected to MetaMask, you can swap. Now, if you're trying to do this in Ledger Live, I guess you can do Binance Peg stuff in Ledger Live. I just reset my Ledger Live, so I can't do this. So, but if you can do Binance Peg stuff in Ledger Live, then perhaps you could swap to BNB in there within Ledger Live on your, on your device, and then withdraw to Binance or Binance US. A lot of times when you have odd coins that are pegged to, kind of obscure chains, the easiest thing to do is just swap for the main token of the chain. So if you've got Phantom-based AVAX, you'd swap it for, Phantom token. Or if you've got Optimism-pegged AVAX, you would swap it for Optimism. Those top-tier coins on those alternate chains are tradable at a lot of different places. So that would be the strategy I would take to get, if you want to get out of that AVAX. There might be a bridge somewhere where you could bridge your Binance pegged AVAX to regular AVAX. I think you can do that on Spooky Swap. Let me see here. Oh my gosh. Let me Spooky Swap. Yeah, I think Spooky Swap, spooky.fi has a bridge where you can move, and you'd have to connect your wallet. Yeah, you could move between Avalanche and BNB on the Spooky Swap bridge, possibly. I don't know why it's not letting me. Oh, here it is. Oh, yeah, it's kind of being. The problem that I'm having here is that it's grabbing wallets that I'm really. Here we go. Let me disable Core. Now you could do it in Core too, actually. Yeah. So where we go here? Spooky Swap. Yeah. Let's try it again with MetaMask. Jeez. All right. Well, let's disable that wallet. Okay. I have too many wallets. That's my problem. All right. Let's try again. Well, now it wants to use Rabby. Okay. Okay. I can live with that. Whoops. I don't know what happened there. Oh, okay. So they give us 3 options here. Bridge to ensure be linked to the bridge. Oh, okay. I get it. Okay. Yeah. So you might be able to bridge from your BNB, right? Your AVAX, BNB, wherever it is. I don't see it on here. May not work. Over to the right chain, right? But these are a little tricky to use. So, yeah. Yeah, so it's possible that you could find a chain that, and like I said, it doesn't even have AVAX in here on this one. So that's why I say it's much easier to swap for the main token like BNB and then drop your BNB on Binance or Binance US. That'd be the way to go. Can you send crypto from one cold store wallet to another? Yes, of course. You can send crypto anywhere between any wallet. I know when you first get into this, you kind of think like, hey, it's on this wallet. It has to go. I can only send it to this wallet. But any crypto wallet can receive any kind of crypto that it supports, right? And like every wallet out there supports Bitcoin. So if you got Bitcoin on a cold storage wallet, you can send it to a Ledger or a Trezor, or you can send it to Coinbase, or you can send it to Kraken. So that's the crypto is interoperable in that sense, right? All you need is a receiving address. Let's see. Wasn't Matic on Polygon chain supposed to auto convert to Paul? Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be as seamless as they said it was going to be. I think that if we go, well, I wiped my account out. I did have some Polygon, but I don't think that it ever became Paul. I think, but it will eventually. I wouldn't worry about it. Even Coinbase is still not allowing you to receive Poly yet, right? They're still in the transitional phase, right? They won't even let us drop it in our Coinbase account until after September 10th. So I just be patient with that. But yes, if you're holding Matic on the Matic chain, it should become Paul eventually. I wouldn't worry too much about it. It's pretty much just a name change. It's got everybody freaking out though. Can someone help me understand? I'm new to crypto. Ledger Live got reset, and when I added back the Ethereum, all the other ERC tokens were added automatically, but not with reserve rights token. RSR token. Ledger Live does not always support every token. It's weird if you had it in Ledger Live before, and I don't think I have any ERC20 tokens in this. But I'll try to give you. Ledger Live should auto detect all the ERC20 tokens that you were managing in Ledger Live before, but it may not, right? Like I said, there's no tokens in this particular Ethereum wallet. But if you connect to MetaMask, and what's this token you're talking about? RSR? Reserve rights. Okay. There's a contract address for reserve rights. We'll add this one to MetaMask. Oh, we'll add it to Rabby. Let's do this one. Yeah, see, you can access it in, what is it? What's it? Well, I guess it doesn't want to do this. I don't know why. MetaMask is better for that. Let's say we want to connect our Ledger device. My Ledger stacks. Okay. Oh, okay. Oof. I don't know what it's. Oh. Let's try this. I don't know what it's. Okay, there. Why won't it let me do this? Oh, because it's calling it account 3. That's odd. Oh, somehow I put this into account 3. I don't know what I did there. Oh, God. I'm sorry, I just was not prepared for this. But let's just go back to a different account. All right, so we have... and now the cat's bothering me. Okay, so you can import a token by using that contract address that we got from CoinGecko. It doesn't like that. Okay. Let's try that again. All right, here's our contract address. Let's copy it into our clipboard. Let's go to MetaMask, import the token. There it is. So there's reserve rights. You can, oh, so we've got a visitor. We've got a visitor here. He's probably hungry. He hasn't had his dinner yet. So the solution to your issue is that if you've got your Ledger device and you've restored your Ethereum and you're not seeing that particular token, you can connect that device to MetaMask or Rabby or several, the cat's causing it, or several other third-party wallets and import the token manually using its contract address. It's not gone. It's just not showing up in Ledger Live. Why it's not showing up in Ledger Live when it was before, I don't know. Perhaps they've discontinued their support. You got to remember that over time, tokens that if they end up, if you bought a token in 2018 and you've been holding this token forever without really keeping up on what's going on with the token, the project, the developers of the project may have abandoned it. The price had dropped to the point where no one buys the coin anymore. Sure, it still has a value that's showing up, but it's untradeable, right? You can't trade it on exchanges. Its support for that coin is eventually going to drop off. So I don't know anything about this token, but you need to be aware of that. As your token starts to fall out of favor, it would behoove you to trade it for something else or liquidate it or whatever, or just learn how to manage it in a third-party wallet. But you can't just buy a token and think it's just going to exist forever without some kind of intervention, because tokens, I've encountered lots of tokens that are like sitting in my MetaMask wallet, and MetaMask says it's worth like $500 or whatever, but I can't trade it anywhere. I can't swap it for anything, even in MetaMask. I'm sorry, yeah, even in like Uniswap or SushiSwap, nobody trades the coin anymore. So even though it technically has a value, I don't know where MetaMask gets its US dollar value for some of their tokens, but sometimes it's just a shadow value because you can't trade the token anywhere. So you need to be aware of this. I would suggest getting access to that coin using a third-party wallet by connecting your Ledger device and then importing this token manually, and then see if you can sell it, because apparently if Ledger's not supporting it anymore, it's probably a dying project. But I'm just speculating because I know nothing about this token. But anyway, Kitty left. Good. Kitty always does that to me. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for being here tonight. I went a little over tonight, and I usually try to wrap it up around 7, but we went over a little bit. I didn't even get to all the demos I wanted, but I did hopefully answered some questions for you guys and gave you some tips and tricks about keeping your assets safe. Let's see. I want to thank everyone tonight. Let's get this thing aligned right. Thank you so much for being here, Kenny, and thank you for the news. Thank you, Dan, for being here and moderating. Thank you, everyone. Pardon me. Thank you, everyone that asked questions. Thank you for the donations, Maddie C. And something in shadows. Dusted in Shadow. Thank you for that, Dusted in Shadow. I appreciate you guys being here, donating, clapping, asking questions, or if you just came to watch, I appreciate you being here for that as well. I was hoping to get to all of your questions. If I missed you, please shoot me an email at thecryptodad.com. thecryptodad@gmail.com. Let me go back to this. Oh, and I'm covering it up, I'm sure. No. Yeah, my email is thecryptodad@gmail.com. Shoot me an email. Hopefully I can help you with your issue. If you want to set up a consulting session, we can talk more about that. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new videos. We will be here again next Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me again for the live stream from Michigan, and keep your eyes open. I should be posting some standalone videos this week as well. So once again, have a good night, everyone.